Hi, guys, and welcome back to Cutting Through the Red Tape. I am your girl, LaShonta, and today we're going to talk about distractions. As we're leaving one month, the month of October, and entering into the month of November, we must be very mindful of the things that are going to come across our minds daily. So I really want us to focus in on being distracted, not necessarily being distracted physically, but also being distracted spiritually as well. Sometimes we are faced with things, stumbling blocks, as some would say, things that come our way or things that are being thrown our way. And we can't really necessarily figure out why they have been thrown our way or what has caused them to be thrown our way. But 9 times out of 10, those are what we call distractions. Distractions come to knock us off course. They come to destroy us. They come to chastise us. Sometimes distractions come to alert us, to wake us up, to make us understand what we have going on or what we need to focus more in on. So a distraction can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. It's just how you look at it. It's how you focus in on the distraction. Sometimes we take too much time trying to figure out why we are in the place that we're in instead of focusing in on the lesson that is presented to us. So oftentimes, when I'm distracted, and sometimes I am easily distracted, I tend to spend more time on the thing that has pretty much knocked me off course. And once I begin to refocus and realign myself, I get upset because I wasted so much time on the thing that really was nothing. And I'm not saying that all distractions that come are not going to be nothing, because some distractions that come are big. They're enormous, and we don't have no other choice but to look at them. But we're not to stay there. We're not to study them. We're not to focus in or put all of our attention into the distraction itself. It has come for a reason. It has come to show us something, to alert us. So during that time, we should be focusing in on what we can learn from the distraction. And I think that's important as we enter into the month of November. We need to make up in our mind whenever the new month start, that we're going to focus in on the positive things. We're going to focus in on elevation. We're going to focus in on things that can move us forward in life. We're not going to allow the stumbling blocks to stagnate us. We're not going to allow the stumbling blocks to halt us, to make us stay in place, to make us look at the distraction and accept it and just go along with it. Sometimes the blocks are there for us to step on. The blocks are there for us to step over. And I think that's very important when we think about a distraction or we think about something that has been thrown our way, that 9 times out of 10, it's not always a bad thing. It's not always a good thing as well. It could be, simply us realigning ourselves. Sometimes we get distracted and we veer off. We stop. We turn, whether it be to the left or to the right. And sometimes those things are thrown in our life so that we can refocus on the thing that's most important at hand, whether it be your education or a business that you need to start, or your personal relationship with Christ. Many of us don't think about Christ until we're in a hard place, or until we have been knocked down, or until we have been faced with the wall. But Christ wants us to call on him not just in the bad times, but he wants us to call on him in the joyous times as well, when we're having fun, when life is great, when we have money in our pockets, whenever we're able to go on vacation or do the things that we want to do. He also wants us to call on him during those times too, as well as the times when you feel like, you're down to your last dollar, or, something big has crashed at home, or when you're on the break of having to find a new job. God, he wants us to continue to communicate with him through the good as well as the bad as well. So sometimes we are faced with distractions. Sometimes we are faced with stumbling blocks, and we are faced with things that we don't really feel like we can overcome. But it's not to knock us down. It's not to destroy us. It's actually to build us. Not only our character, our spirituality. It's there to shape us, to mold us. It's there to be confident in ourselves. And most of the time, we are able to use equipment. I call it equipment because the Bible equips us with all things. So I call it equipment. We're able to use the equipment that Christ has already given to us, not even realizing that we didn't even know how to turn the equipment on or how to activate it. Everything that we need is already within us. And so it gives me great joy to know that if I am presented with something, that I know that I have the ability to go through that, or to cross over, or to step on whatever the distraction or the stumbling block that has come my way. We all know that everybody is not perfect. We all know that we are all faced with something. We are all in a position, or have been in a position, to where we have been faced with certain distractions and with certain stumbling blocks. But it's how you overcome those times. It's how you go through those times. It's how you come out. Some of us don't come out as well as others. Some of us come out different than others. And so that's just not really something that other individuals have say so over how you come out, or how you overcome, or how you have stepped on these stumbling blocks. It's more so of how you and Christ handle the situation that you're in. But I am here to tell you that whatever it is that you're faced with, the Bible tells us to look to the hills from which your help comes from. He tells us to cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. And what does that mean? Whatever it is that you're faced with, whatever it is that has come your way, whatever stumbling block has landed in front of you, he is telling you to give that thing to him. Most of the time it's too heavy. Most of the time we can't just kick it to the side or move it to the side because we don't really have the strength that we need at that particular time. But he did tell us that if we come to him, and that he will carry whatever it is that we are faced with. And we should all find joy in that, in knowing that whatever it is that we have faced, there's a way out. And I'm excited today to let you know, even if you don't know, that there is a way out, and that the distraction is only there to strengthen you. It's only there to build character. It's only there to help you overcome. It's only there to show you who you are. Because most of the time we don't really know the strength that we possess until we are faced with something. We don't really know what we can handle. We don't really know what we can go through, or what we can overcome, until we are faced with said thing. And sometimes a lot of people can't handle what you have gone through. A lot of people wouldn't be able to handle what you have gone through. And that should give you great joy as well, knowing that your personal relationship with Christ has allowed you to step on your block or to step over your block. Or so it has allowed you to not focus in on the block that was presented to you. And it allows you to know that your distractions are not here to stay. Distractions are not here to stay. They're here to teach you something. They're here to show you where you are personally within yourself. And that's what I want to talk about today. When you are faced with something, where will Christ find you? Will he find you in a position to where he can trust you with that thing? Or will he find you on the other side trying to fix it yourself? Or trying to handle it yourself? Or trying to overcome whatever it is that you're faced with yourself? We have to realize that yes, we may have some power or some capabilities, but we can't do anything without Christ. We have to allow him to take control and we have to follow behind him. And as we're going, he's building us. As we're going, he's healing us. As we're going, we're able to stand on our own 2 feet. And I think that's the most exciting thing about going into a new month. Last week we talked about new seasons, going into new seasons, going into a new month. You're able to finally see who you are, what you possess, what you have control over and what you don't have control over. You're able to be in a place, you're able to be content with who you are, who God has created you to be, because he has in fact built you for this reason, for this purpose. And now that you know why you're faced what you're facing, now that you know why you have been presented with this, that you can overcome it, that you have the equipment, that you have the knowledge, that you have the power, that you have the understanding to move forward and to go throughout your next season or throughout your next month. I encourage you and I urge you to um, not so much focus in on the distraction, but more so look at it, learn from it, build from it, and encourage somebody else on how you overcame or how you were able to cross over this milestone in your life, or how you were able to just being proud of yourself, just being proud of who you are and who God has created you to be. I feel like we need to focus more in on ourselves and what we possess and be happy and be encouraged or know that you're that girl or you're that guy, and that whatever it is that you're faced with, you have the ability to overcome it. You have the ability to look at your distraction and say, you had me at one particular time, but now I'm not there anymore. And I'm able to see it for what it is. And I'm also able to move past whatever it is. Be proud of yourself, knowing that you're growing, knowing that you are moving forward, knowing that you're pushing past certain levels that you didn't even know that you had the ability to do. That should be that should excite you beyond all measures, is knowing that 5 years ago I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing in 2025. 5 years ago, or 2024, excuse me, I'm already in 25, y'all. But knowing that 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to stand on my own 2 feet, or I wouldn't have been able to live the way that I'm living. And that should excite a lot of us, is that we have progressed and we have grown and we have elevated to a different time and to a different season. And we're able to stand, take a stand. I'm so very excited about the things that are getting ready to come. And I'm so very excited about the things that I've already passed. The past is the past, the future is the future, and we should be looking forward to what's the old saying? New levels is new devils. But I want to add to that. Um, you're absolutely right. Every time you reach a new level, you're going to be faced with something different. But you also have grace and mercy to follow you, to carry you. So we shouldn't be intimidated by the things that we are yet to face, because the same way we cross that hurdle, we will be able to cross the next hurdle. We will be able to continue to move up the mountain. The only way to climb a mountain is you have to have gear. That's number one. You have to have substance. That's number two. You have to be willing. You have to have the mind frame to know that this is a steep mountain. But as long as I have my tools, as long as I have my gear, and as long as my mind is focused, then I will be able to reach the top of this mountain. And that's what I want us to focus in on as we enter into the month of November. Try something new, do something different. Step outside of your comfort zone. Um, uh, Cross a barrier or a boundary that you have caged yourself into because of fear. Do something that you love. Do something that you don't love. Just try something new and see how you like it. And that'll let you know where you are and what you need to work on, and get outside of the box. I've been I've been in a box, out of box, in a box, out of box, and the box is done. Look at yourself and say the box is done. We're not going to be put in any more boxes for the rest of this year. We're not going to be distracted by the box. We're not going to be distracted by the blocks. Nothing is going to distract us and hold us and keep us in a place to where we're no longer we need to be. I think it's time for all of us to kind of figure out what we need to do from here and where we need to go from here. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you as well as being excited for myself and knowing that we have the power, we have the ability. As a matter of fact, today is Halloween. So, what is your superpower? Um, and I can honestly say my superpower is resilience. I'm resilient. Yeah, so I'm excited about that and knowing that as long as I stay focused, God got me just like He has you. So let go of the distractions, continue to stand firm, do you, and do the things that you need to do in order to continue to move forward. Okay, that's my time for today. Peace.